All right. Welcome back. Season 2, episode 1. Super excited. Closed out season 1, 2022. Thought it would be nice to start a fresh year with a fresh episode. I have my friend, Mr. Chef Dave from the lovely Luban and many other ventures too. Met Dave only recently, really, and connected with him straight away. Love what he's about, love what his message is about, and I ate in his restaurant just before Christmas. He made me more seafood than I've ever eaten in my life in one sitting, and I enjoyed it.
He did.
I did enjoy it, which I didn't think I would. But welcome.
Thank you very much.
So I'll ask you what I ask everyone. What are you checking in with today? 1 or 2 words just to describe where you're at.
2 words. Certainly positivity.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly mindset, because I reckon mindset is how we've met.
Mm-hmm.
My kind of search last year, 2022, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Where are we?
It was a really big year for me and for the businesses. But personally, I think it went hand in hand in kind of my striving to achieve a certain mindset, get myself in a really good place, both physically and mentally. So mindset, yeah. And then I was searching for like-minded people, following people with a positive message, really strong mindset, listening to not so much podcasts, but like little clips that would motivate me for the day, and kind of stumbled across you. And then that was it. Like I said, I reached out. Hi.
Yeah.
Especially when I saw you in Liverpool as well. That was just like brilliant. Do you know what I mean? There's a community growing.
Massively.
And that's where I think, strength in the social media. It has its highs and it has its lows, it has its goods, it has its bads, but this is a really positive thing, I think. So mindset, definitely. I feel I've gone on a big journey, certainly the last 12 months, physically, mentally. And positivity, something I've always tried to be right the way through my life, my career. So that's what I'm checking in with today.
I like it. Yeah, a couple of things. I think Liverpool has such a vibe right now. I think there's so many people doing amazing things in their own right.
Yeah.
I think there's a collective movement of people, you know, in the circle, even just, I don't know, energetically, the city's moving in different directions. Like there's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I think across the spectrum as well, what you're doing with Luban, like what other people are doing with like friends like Martin and Matt, and the retreats that are going on, the work that's going on, the podcasts, just so many people striving for better things.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what's really exciting, I think. There's this whole new, well, it might not be new, but it's certainly new to me. And you can feel it, you can see it, you can see it happening around, so that's what I was keen to be a part of certainly this last 12 months or so. Certainly invested in myself, and I've kind of, I don't want to go down the whole reawakening thing. I'm not quite there yet, but certainly learned a lot about myself this last year, and it's gone hand in hand with a really productive year. So it's like, okay. The last few years have been good, but obviously we had all the turmoil of COVID and whatever else. And last year just felt like a really defining year for me. But like you said, I'm spotting people around who are also doing amazing things. And like you said, it's fantastic to see Liverpool as a city. And we're branching out. There's new things happening. There's all exciting things happening, and there's more people to now connect with. Yeah. Than I felt like there might have been before. Does that make sense? So
definitely.
There's certainly more people moving in a certain direction, and a direction that I want to be part of as well.
It's like they say, geese when they're flying in the sky, like no one's the leader. They're all collectively moving in the same direction individually.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's happening in Liverpool. Like everybody's collectively moving in their own direction, but everybody's collectively moving forward.
It's the same game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like the vibe and the energy.
It's positivity and it's progression, I feel like, So
especially consider, I'm an adopted Scouser, so I've been here like 13 years or something. And I protect this city, defend it, because I came here knowing that Liverpool had a certain reputation, and it still does to a degree. There's a lot of things that are going on in this city that aren't good too.
Yeah,
100%. a lot of gun crime at the minute. A lot of things that are challenging in this city, but a lot of fucking people with good hearts, who want to do big things.
I think so. I think Liverpool's always had a good heart.
Yeah,
Always,
I agree.
And no one really gets to see that. So I'm the same. I've been in circumstances and situations where you're outside the city and there's just little remarks that get made to you, and you're just like, sometimes I'll bite back, and other times I'll be I'll just be quiet, bite my lip and think, what a douche. I've just seen one of my numbers come up, so I'm quite excited. I've got into numbers this year, and I keep seeing 27 everywhere.
Nice.
That's a number that means a lot to me. And it's all about change. If you do the research on it, change and positive things come in. So every time I see it, well, somebody's getting really annoyed with me now because I keep sending them every time I see a 27. You want to be mates? And I'm just like, boom. So honestly, stop it now, please.
Stop with the 27.
Phone's just full of 27s. Like,
well, for me, it's 1110. That's my birthday, 11/10, 11th of October. And I see it everywhere. Like I went to Vegas many years ago. We had a penthouse. It was the 11th floor, the 10th room.
Nice.
Like so many things that happen with 11.
Yeah.
And to a point where, my ex-partner, Danielle, I was like telling her about this. And then obviously we've been together a long time. There were constantly things happening. And then even she's like,
I can see
took the kids to London. She took them by herself. And I was like, guess what room we're in? Number 11. Like it's everywhere.
Isn't it mad? And
it's mad, yeah.
I've started to now. I mean, I was never in this mindset before, but certainly this last year, I'm like, right, there is messages out there. I am being told things. I am being shown things. Again, I'm not obsessed with it or anything like that, but I just think it's a nice sign.
I think even if you make it mean something to you and it becomes a sign to remind you to align. Yeah, definitely. Like,
so I always associate 27 with something positive. And so if I've made a decision in my life and a 27 pops up, it kind of gives me a bit of like, right, okay, that was right. That was the right decision. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whether that's true or not, well, it means something to me. And it keeps me positive and it keeps me, like you said, aligned. It's almost like brings you back. Right, okay, good.
Well, I just started a new coaching program with a guy. He's unbelievable. And he suggested that we make an altar. And
I saw the
altar.
Seen it,
So it's like, it's just a sacred space. So one of the questions he asked us was, why are you here? Why are you part of the program? What's your intention over the next 6 months? What do you want to bring into your life?
Yeah.
And then he said, create a sacred practice in the morning around that. So for me, there were a couple of things. It's like transition in life and where I'm at in business, but equally, I want to write a book. There's another book in there for me. And to create a sacred place to sit and do my practice, like I do embodiment and breath work and meditation, and then from that go into the priority of my life. The book.
This is what I'm after. Yeah. Okay. I like it.
My coach was like, he's like, we're a little woo woo around here, but
I think you need to be sometimes, don't you? And it's like, I'm at a point now where maybe a couple of years ago I'd be worried about what people thought about me saying stuff like that, and now I'm just like, I don't care what anyone else thinks anymore. If it's positive for me and it brings positivity to people around me, then
sharing that was actually a weird thing. I felt like I was bearing my soul a little bit. I was like, like people are going to think I've lost it. People are going to think I'm weird. People are going to think I'm like spiritual, but I'm a spiritual being. Like I'm very spiritual, but I'm also, I like to call myself like a spiritual pragmatist.
Yeah.
I like to be in the spiritual alignment, but equally I like to get my feet on the ground and do shit.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I think I'm aligned with you there. So yeah, I like the thought of the focus and the numbers and like I said, the altar. I saw that come up and I was like, that's interesting. It's interesting. But at the same time, if you read other things, people say, right, have a picture board with what you want on there. Do you know what I mean? It's the same.
So vision boards like seen as normal, but a spiritual altar is like
altar is different. You know what I mean? Because I suppose because it has religious connotations and people are still a bit funny about religion, but you break that down. Everyone's going the same path. Everyone's going the same way. They're trying to be good and they're trying to bring positivity just in their own separate ways. It all aligns.
I think sacred, we've lost sacredness. That's what we've lost. We've lost faith.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not, I wouldn't class myself as religious. I don't follow a religion, but like I have values.
Yeah.
I have beliefs. I have things that I want to align with. And I think it's not about following a doctrine of what somebody else put together. It's like, create your own doctrine, create your own religion, create your own sacredness, create your own practice, create your own stuff that aligns with you and who you are, and be guided by that.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that. I was brought up Christian. I still follow that that set of rules. Effectively, it's if you break it down and take away religion out of it and just follow the rules, they're great rules to live by in life. So yeah, I've always got a lot of respect for religious people because I think they're trying to live a really good life. Do you know what I mean? And that's what everyone should be striving to do. So
Definitely.
whatever it is you believe in, like you said, you're all aiming the same direction. Which is what we said before. Exactly. You're all trying to achieve the same thing.
Ultimately, it's like it's becoming, I say a man of faith, but a person of faith. By that meaning, like, are you aligned to what you value in your life? And that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, that's good.
I think as well, you think about Luban, like imagine Luban didn't have a set of values that it was trying to live by, or it didn't have a set of principles that it was trying to achieve, and it didn't have a vision of where it was going.
Yeah.
It didn't have a mission in the food industry. It just becomes another place that you go to eat.
Yeah, exactly. And that was when we set up Luban, something it was massively important to me that we weren't just another run-of-the-mill restaurant. We were something different. We always set out to be something different. And sticking your head above the parapet and saying we're different is actually quite dangerous. You know what I mean? And it's a bit scary because you're like saying, look, everyone, this is what we're doing, and it's different from all of you guys.
Yeah.
What have you got? Because you've got to expect it's going to come at you. Do you know what I mean?
Especially when you're putting yourself out there as like high level, high end, restaurant.
No, exactly. We wanted to achieve great standards, but we also wanted to have a heart. We wanted to help the community. We wanted to do things differently. We wanted to look after our staff. And
which in essence is very Chinese in essence as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we kind of followed the culture that we'd seen out in China as well, and bring them values. And I think we've done that to an extent. And it's been an exciting project. It's been a whirlwind 4 years. Let's be honest. Open it up. Probably at the worst possible time, as anyone who knows our story will know. That was a huge challenge. That was a very challenging 18 months.
Big investment, huge
investment, and
big premise.
we had to really. I mean, I'd say I had to get into a whole different mind space and do stuff I've never done before in my life. Within a career that's 24, 25 years now, I suddenly had to think completely differently. Push myself into different thought processes, completely out of the box. How do we survive? What do we do? How do we adapt? And we did, and we survived. And coming out the other side of it, it set us up. And what we actually managed to do without even thinking about it was stick to our principles of whatever we do it the right way. We're trying to look after people. We're trying to help the community, and we're trying to look after our staff and everyone who comes through the doors as well. So, interesting.
I think what was interesting for me with Luban is like, it's Chinese food, but not how you know it. And that was always the conversation we had. It's like, I recommended a friend he's a client, he's from down south, Gloucester way. And his girlfriend was coming up for the weekend. I was like, go to Luban. Like it's unique. You won't find anywhere like that, you know? I was like, it's Chinese food, but it's not. I don't know how to put it in a box. Like
that's that's how I described it. As was always Chinese food, but not as you know it. Do you know what I mean? So when we first opened, obviously we had a lot of pushback from people saying this isn't Chinese food. It's not Chinese food. Yeah. And it's mainly because Liverpool's got such a connection with China. And Liverpool food is Scouse food. We've got the oldest Chinese community in the Western world here. Yeah. So we've been eating a certain brand of Chinese food for the last 50, 60, 70 years. It's never changed because it doesn't need to. Yeah. But what I saw was very modern, progressive Chinese food, because obviously Chinese are light years ahead of us in every aspect of life. Do you know what I mean? Why wouldn't they be with the food scene as well? But we've never seen that. So I was really keen to bring back that modern Chinese food and the flair and the elegance that I saw out in China. We've not seen that over in the UK really. So
the discipline's like second to none, isn't it? I think when you look at Chinese culture, it's grounded in sacred practice. It's grounded in spiritualism. It's grounded in discipline. It's very martial in its sense. Very, when you look at martial arts, it's like very, like sacred, I guess. And that's how they kind of
structured as well. Yeah. So, and when you go into the kitchens of these amazing restaurants, you can see it could be military.
What did you notice? What did you notice going from like British kitchens, where Gordon Ramsay's the kind of the poster boy of chef world and that toxic culture, and you've gone to China and you see their kitchens? What was the difference?
It was just although it felt military. It just felt calm and peaceful at the same time. So you've got 12 guys on walks just absolutely going for it, bang, 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 like churning out dishes really quick, really fast. But everyone in the kitchen knew what they were doing. There was no shouting, no screaming. It was all very, a little bit zen, to coin the phrase. It was like, okay, this is completely controlled, completely controlled to the letter. Everything is calm, peaceful, relaxed. But at the same time, military and how precise it was and how fast it was, and it had to be, because these guys are cooking for 1,000 people at once. These restaurants are gigantic. I think 10 times bigger than anything we've got over here. It was phenomenal to see, and that was.
Did that change your perspective of chefing in kitchens?
I mean, that's always, weirdly enough, I've always thought you need to have that calm, controlled atmosphere anyway, because that's productive for me. So that the kitchens I've ran over years, I've always tried to maintain it's calm, it's peaceful. The screaming and shouting just it doesn't need to happen, because you're not going to get anything productive from that, from my experience. And certainly in Liverpool, no one will put up with it. They'll just be like, no, I'm done, I'm out.
Fuck that lad. Fuck that lad.
And where the industry is now as well, it's in a tough place. Its staffing is really difficult now. You want to create an atmosphere that's productive for people. You want to create an atmosphere where people can feel at home. These guys are going to spend more time with each other than they are with their own families and their own friends, because they're working 12, 14 hours a day. Do you know what I mean? So, and I need them to run through walls for me in the nicest way possible. We've got fully booked. So. Yeah. I need them to be able to do it of their own will, because they want to do it, because they want to be there, because they want to achieve things. Not because I'm screaming and shouting in the face, not because I'm bullying them, not because I'm forcing them to do it. I just don't think that's the right way to do it. And so I've never really thought that was productive, even though I've been through those kind of kitchens.
But it's accepted. That's the problem, isn't it?
It's accepted and it's glorified. And people love watching it on TV and think, oh, it wasn't that cool, wasn't that? And I'm just like, you're glorifying someone getting bullied and ripped out on national television in front of people.
It's funny, because we talk about mental health in society, like mental health this, mental health that, like promote mental health, yet people watch stuff like Love Island. Yeah. You know, Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen or whatever it's called, and like all of these programs that are actually really detrimental to people's mental health.
Massively so. And I've done a little bit of television, and it's brutal. There's no support there. There's no. Luckily, the last couple of times I've done it, I've been in a really good headspace. Whereas other people around me, I could see them like literally falling apart. And I've been like, put my arm around them. And someone said to me, I was on Great British Menu, came out earlier, I think it was last year. And they were like, oh, you're so nice, like supporting everybody, because that's not seen there. Because they want you in this combative mode. They want you in this competitive mode. And I was just like, it's not me, that, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm here, and these lads around me, they're younger than me, and they're feeling the stress, they're feeling the pressure. I'm all right, I've been here, I've seen this, I know what's coming, and I'm totally at peace with it. I don't need to win this, like, you know what I mean?
When you surrender to actions and the results take care of themselves, then the pressure kind of dissipates and you just focus on being present with what you've got.
100%. So I really enjoyed the last one I did, because I just didn't care. It wasn't that that's not fair. It's not that I didn't care about it all. I didn't care about the end result. I just wanted to go there and give a good representation of myself and try and enjoy myself while I was there. And that was the mindset I got into. And I spent most of that week looking after the other lads who are my competitors, let's say. But for me, it wasn't about that. It was about me just being me. And I got a lot of people messaging me, which is really nice, getting positive messages on social media going, weren't you so good, you were amazing, you were looking after the other guys. And I was just like, that was natural, that came naturally to me. And even though your film crew and everyone's trying to lead you a certain way, they're trying to ask you loaded questions, they're trying to make you say things, and I was just like, no,
that's toxic, isn't it?
No, it is toxic, and there's no support on the other side of it either. And I've probably fell out with one production team, because I kind of had a go at them afterwards, after I see it all play out. And I was like, you left everyone exposed there to the public in terms of, there was some really detrimental comments towards all the chefs that were competing. And the way the social media led it kind of built up to a crescendo and then left on this big negative overnight as well. And when I chased it up, I was like, that's a bit unfair, I think, leaving us like out to dry. I said, I don't care. I'm long in the tooth. I've done this a long time. I've got thick skin now. I've had enough trip advisors in my life, do you know what I mean? And customers and whatever else. But I said, these lads are at the start of their careers, do you know what I mean? This could be really detrimental.
It could really like prevent them from pursuing it,
it could really. I mean, I know people that have been on these shows and they suffer really badly for a while afterwards. But I kind of put it to them. I said that was out of order. And basically what they said to me was one of the scheduled social media posts at the end, which was meant to like wrap it all up but put a positive spin on it, hadn't gone out for whatever reason. Anyway, I told them what I thought of it, and I've stuck to my guns there. Do you know what I mean? Because I just thought that was wrong.
Then that's your values as well. So you're willing to let go of opportunity to stand by your values.
Yeah, I might not get invited back, but there we go. I stuck to my values. So yeah.
But I think we need more of that in the world, right? I think there's a term. It's civil discourse.
Yeah.
And I think we've lost that ability to disagree yet be in union.
Yeah.
Like I think you should be able to have conversations with people and be like, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But then not fall out. Like in this world, it's like cut people out of your life.
People should be able to have different opinions. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us unique. But I just feel, and when you talked before about us losing our spirituality as well, I think it's, personally, I think it's the world the way it is at the moment. What's celebrated now on social media is rubbish, effectively, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? If you can get loads of views and you get loads of this for doing something stupid, then great. Do you know what I mean? And I just think the values that used to be out there are no longer there. So we are losing our spirituality because we're looking at views and likes on TikTok and Instagram and this and that. And that is what is now our values, is what we're seeing in front of us, social media, media. And
the algorithms too. Like if you had let's say you had a video of your kitchen and it was really calm and peaceful and it was, that wouldn't get pushed. But if you had a chef screaming and shouting at his staff, that would get shared and it would get pushed around because people are engrossed in drama.
No, that's it. Yeah, they don't want to be part of the drama, but they're quite happy for someone else to be part of the drama, aren't they? But no, I completely agree with that. So yeah, what's going to get more views? That calm zen kitchen where everything's going out perfectly, or someone getting screamed and shouted at and physically and mentally tortured in front of everyone. And
also you've got algorithms favouring semi-naked girls and then thinking that that's what they've got to do to get attention or make moves in the world. The popularization of the things like OnlyFans just shows where we're at as a culture.
That's where our values are being shifted to now. Do you know what I mean? You can make loads of money doing this, and it's like, right, okay,
and it's normalizing something that's not normal.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be, but it is now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's completely
normal now. Yeah. And I think that was part of my personal journey over the last few years is I've understood the importance of social media, but I also know where to say, no, not watching that, or I have no interest in that anymore. That doesn't interest me whatsoever. Let's unfollow because I don't need that.
You can curate a really positive timeline. Like you can be filled full of amazing things and you could have, if you're conscious about who you follow, you can actually use social media as an incredible tool.
Well, exactly. And because of, like you said, the algorithms, once it knows what you're interested in, similar stuff's popping up. And that's when you can make good connections.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like us, for example, and other people who've appeared now, and the motivational people, because Instagram's like, okay, this guy likes to watch inspirational stuff. He doesn't want to scroll through pictures of puppies and stuff like that. If it's llamas, I'm all in. But there's certain things that I'll just be like, I haven't got time for that. Do you know what I mean? And that was a big part of actually the last couple of years was, I'll tell you, I want to speak to you about my physical journey now. I'm 40 next week, but I think I'm probably in the best shape of my life because I'm now training 4 times a week with a personal trainer. Never thought that was possible with the line of work I did or I do.
Sociable
all
hours,
the hours
late
I'm
nights,
working. And I think this is a big problem within the industry. Certainly amongst chefs and people who are working all these hours, and there's this thing in the brain, I don't have time. I looked at my phone one day, looked at my screen time. It was 8 hours per day. And I'm like, right, okay. I've got 8 hours where I'm on my phone. I must have time for a 45-minute PT session. And it was that defining moment. And I was like, right, that's it now. When I spoke to a PT, booked him in. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I'm up like this morning, or up at 5:30 in the morning, so I can fit everything in the day.
Yeah.
But I'll make time to do it, and I'll feel great for it. Do you know what I mean? Except for me cold. Pardon that, by the way. But and it was that was a real defining moment.
Was you out of shape before? You weren't training? Were you looking after your health?
I was training like once a week with a PT, which just kept me in that mind frame of on my day off, I'd go to PT and I'd train. I'd feel great for that day, and then I was like, no, I want that feeling for the rest of the week. And I've always ate quite well. Don't really drink. I'll have an occasional drink, but I'm not a big drinker. And I've looked after my health. And I feel now I've got the most energy in the kitchen out of everybody. And these guys are 20 years younger than me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I've got the energy because I'm working hard on it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that have really bad health issues, but mainly because, all they've done is work and they haven't looked after themselves on the other side. So,
our health is like something that's massively under our control. Like it really is.
And health is wealth, as you say. So like start with health. That's where I started. But I was like, right, I'm going to get my health in order. I'm creeping up on 40 now. I need to be in a good place, and got that sorted. And with that came this clarity, this extra energy. Mental health improved massively. I've never massively struggled with it, but I almost never used to believe in it. Do you know what I mean? It was a case of, if you're feeling down, you're just feeling down and you get on with it. That was always that's what I saw around me. That was what the next generation off from us was, just like, you just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? It was stiff upper lip and crack on with it. So I was always in that mindset. And now I understand it a bit more. I want to try and help other people that might struggle with mental health, certainly in this industry. So it's something that I'm really keen to start pushing on. I was doing like a weekly 15-minute live on Instagram, just talking about different things that might be affecting your mood or why you're feeling like this. And it's something that I'm really keen to do. So, but starting with that physical exercise was
they say
a big starting point.
My friend Paul Morty's an amazing coach, and he said this thing, and which is like aligned really, really easily. It's like mental health requires physical support. Yeah. So if you want to improve your mental health, like your physical body is the first part of it, right? Energy. Yeah. Like if you're low on energy, you're low mood, you're easily triggered. 100%. You're agitated, everything, you're frustrated. Horrible, everything feels so much harder when you're tired and low energy. So like energy cultivation is the number one thing. What you eat, how you move, what you do in terms of, meditation, peace of mind, like all of that.
It's massively important, isn't it? So I find that in my role, especially with Luban and the other little businesses we've got as well, running alongside, I have to be the beacon. I have to be the tower of strength for everybody, the lighthouse, that's it. So when things get tough and you've got fully booked restaurants and things aren't maybe going to plan, and you've got a few customers that are complaining and someone's called in sick and something, your delivery hasn't turned up on time, so you're still waiting on it, and all this happens, or a piece of equipment's gone down, and this can all happen at once. It generally does, because that's the way it works. That's how life works. I've got to be the guy that's like, everybody, it is what it is. It's probably the most poignant phrase I've used over the last few years. It is what it is, and it's like, you can't worry about anything that's out of your control. Let's just try and fix what we can. And so I bring the energy. I try and get everyone fired up every single day. But like you said, you have them low energy days. That's natural. That's normal. You can't always wake up feeling that pumped. Yep. So I work on the fitness, that helps bring the energy. Work on mindset, that helps bring the energy. And then I'll try and speak to people as well that I know will give me just a little bit of lift, tiny little anything, friend, coach, whoever it is.
Cultivating things in your life that will energize you. There's two phrases here. Leader of one, leader of many, can't lead one, can't lead any. Yeah. I think it's so important. Leadership is it's something that if you embody, people will follow. You don't have to tell people what to do. Yeah. They will follow your energy. And then I think the second thing is to really understand that you are the lighthouse. If the light goes out, then danger happens, and you've got to prioritize your ability. Like, I got asked on a podcast yesterday, what does being a man mean to me? And it's like responsibility. Like, every area of my life, I look at responsibility. Like, I'm responsible for showing up in the best possible way that I can.
Yeah.
Because by doing that, it's a catalyst to every other person in my life.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I completely agree with that. That's a great analogy, really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I have to show up every day. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, the light can't go out, right?
The light can never go out because then problems happen. They do happen, and it's a lot for other people to be able to step in and become the light. It's a big role, that, and it's took me obviously 20 odd years to become the light. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been working on that constantly, and I think that's why I've been so productive these last couple of years, working on me, keeping that light going, making sure my mental health is great, making sure my fitness is the best it can possibly be, and I'm really pushing forward now, and that's actually manifesting really good things for me. So really keen to keep that pushing forwards now. I've got some big plans, hopefully. We spoke about briefly, but when they come to fruition, be really good. I want to make a more positive impact in the industry, get more, certainly chefs, because I feel they are probably misunderstood, and also they get a certain name for themselves. Give a dog a bad name, do you know what I mean? There's a certain, like we talked about before, there's a certain image of a chef. And a lot of people just fall into the stereotype because they don't know any different.
I worked in silver service, my first ever job when I was 16. I literally was my 16th birthday. I had an interview on my 16th birthday. That's my dad, like, you know, go and get a job. And then I started the next night. I'm fucking still in school at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm in a silver service thing. Everyone's older than me. I'm like the youngest kid there. And, you know, there was two prominent incidents. One guy who lived in the hotel.
Yeah.
It was his life, right? He's probably still there.
Yeah, he'll still be there. Yeah.
I was taking a bowl of soup, and the soup like went on the edge of the bowl,
a little bit,
and he just snatched the fucking bowl off me, threw it aside, and then he picked another bowl up and he went.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
What's happening here?
And then another time, we were sat in the kitchen between service, and we were all kind of leaning against the silver counter.
Yeah.
And the chef just poured fucking boiling water on the counter to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, burnt everyone's asses. It's like, get your fucking asses off my countertop, and screaming and shouting. We're like 16-year-old kids. Do you know what I mean? 16 and 7-year-old kids. This guy's like in his 30s.
Yeah. Just
miserable, angry, like hates it. And it's so weird because you've got such talented people.
Yeah.
Who probably, you know what it is? I think it is. It's resentment. Like, why the fuck did I choose to be a chef and put up with this? Do you know what I mean?
I've looked at it, and I'm doing some work with a training company at the moment where we kind of bridge this gap between what the front of house are training and learning, and the back of house, and what's actually making the chefs feel this way. And it's quite complicated. There's a lot there. You'd probably need a whole podcast just to talk about that. Do you know what I mean? Over a series.
Yeah. What do you think it is? Like, why is there such an angry culture in kitchens? Like, why is there such a...
I think there's just so many. There's so many different contributing factors. It is the long hours. It is the fact that it's glorified on television. It's what people see. It's what they think.
They aspire to be like.
And then, like I said, they fall into the stereotype of, I've seen that. So monkey see, monkey do. Do you know what I mean? And if they're trained by a chef who's that way, they're going to learn that way, and they're going to pass that down.
Isn't it funny? It's like
you need to break the chain at some point and say that's not how
it's like if you grow up with an abusive alcoholic father, and then you grow up and become an abusive alcoholic father, right? Then like that's unaccepted in society. Yeah. But if you're abused by a chef, and then you become up to be an abusing chef, it's almost like a badge of honor. Like, I had to go through this, so you have to go through this.
And that's the sad part about it. And I'm not saying that's everywhere. That isn't everywhere. It's not, no. And it's not everyone at all. But there is.
But it's the stereotype culture of chefs. Like, if you ask, you know, the average person what goes on in the kitchen and how a chef behaves, they'll give you all of the stuff that they see.
And that's the sad part for me looking at it. There's plenty of kitchens where that doesn't happen, but no one sees that. And it's all because that's not great television. Do you know what I mean? So a nice, pleasant environment is not nice television. Yeah. People want to see the drama.
Well, that was what, when I came to your place, what was really interesting is everyone was just getting on with their thing. Like, it was just really peaceful. It was like, it was almost like there wasn't food even being cooked. It was just like everyone was just floating around, just really chilled.
That's it. I mean, but beneath, could they call it swan theory? Beneath the water, the legs are going super fast. But above the water, what you can see, everything's graceful, calm, collective. And I think that's the best way to run the operation from what I've seen. It might work like differently for other people,
almost.
But they need to be not under stress. They're working flat out some days for, you can have customers from 12 till 10 at night. That's 10 hours solid of working at the fastest rate you possibly can.
And you mentioned as well how many steps you were doing in a day and losing weight.
Yeah, it's 12 to 14,000 steps when I've started counting now. I've done research now, how many calories I'm burning a day compared to what you're managing to eat a day. These guys are doing harder work than most professional athletes, but they're not eating like a professional athlete. They're not looking after the bodies like a professional athlete. And this is all contributing. So you've got a run down body that's not fueling itself. It's what we talked about before, low energy, low mood, triggering. So obviously things are, flashpoints are happening now. It's a dangerous environment. Hot oil, splash, burn, piss me off. Yeah, exactly. A little slice in the hand, blood. I mean, it's just... There's so many little contributing factors.
There's time, there's pressure.
Yeah, the pressure's huge, like I said. And once you've got a staff member that's worked 12-hour days consecutively for 4 or 5 days, someone's called in sick, you need to work twice as hard now. What? Where does that work in any other industry? Someone calls in sick, now you've got to do their job as well as your job. Tough, very tough. It's a tough industry. It really is, and you've got to love it to want to keep doing it.
My friend's an amazing chef, and he left the industry for that reason. Long weekends, unbelievable chef.
You give up so much, and all you want back is you want people to say, "Well done, you've done a great job today." You want your pay packet to reflect how hard you've worked, and that's really tough in this industry because restaurants don't make great money at the moment. It's not what everyone thinks it is. Everyone's like, oh, you charge this much for that. I can buy it in the supermarket for this. I was like, okay, but what about the rent? What about the electricity? What about the gas? What about all the chefs? What about the KPs? What about the waitresses? Do you know what I mean? It's all adding up now. And it's more expensive than it's ever been, ever. So it's tough to make money in that game. And unfortunately, as a result, we can't pay people what we'd like to pay them. We can only pay them what we can afford to pay them. So just, like I said, so many contributing factors. But I think if we can make a start, and what I want to do is coach people and get them in the right mind frame first and foremost, get them working out, get them in a physically good space, get them eating properly, coach them, get them working on, like we said, on mindset. Like, okay, something's going to go wrong today. It's going to happen. It's always going to happen. That's life. Do you know what I mean? How you deal with it is a merit of how good you are as a person, as a chef, and I think we can make a good start there, and hopefully just turn a corner and start inviting more people back into the industry, getting them excited about food again. These chefs who are, they were excited, they were passionate, they're creators. If they end up in a job where they're stifled and they have to follow this other recipe and they can only do this and they can only do that, the creativity is stifled as well. So
there's no expression.
They want to be able to express that. That's it. They're expressive people. They want to do that. And if they can't,
it's like being an artist and saying you can only use red and blue.
You've only got red and you can only on that canvas there.
You can't use any other material. Just
there's
that.
going to be frustrations, isn't there? So so there's a lot. There's so many different contributing factors. It's not a simple case of like, okay, let's just switch it all and that's what happens. But I just think certainly mindset, fitness, fueling your body right, making sure you're making time for yourself as well. Stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol. At the end of the night, you don't have to have a drink with the lads, do you know what I mean? Go home, meditate, do you know what I mean? It's just little changes in the life could create a far better environment to work in and just a far nicer life for the chefs themselves. And you'll see a switch then, you'll see a change.
I mean, the problem that we have is that the more that you engage in behavior, the more you need that behavior to keep you going. So the more low energy you are, you get to the end of the day, you're tired, you're like, fucking hell, I just need a break. The more you're inclined to have a drink or have a line or fucking have a joint or whatever it is. And that energy.
Release the endorphins or whatever it is.
It's just like, I need a release of some description.
Release, exactly, So, but there's different releases.
Different ways,
100%. It's like now for me, gym 4 times a week.
internal.
Phenomenal. Like, I love it. Do you know what I mean? And then it's going for a walk. It's going seeing the family, seeing loved ones on the day off, making sure that I'm not too tired to go and do that. Because it was always, like I said, I've been there. I've worked 80, 90 hours a week. Day off comes, I just want to sleep. I need to catch up. So you miss everything. Like, the whole week's gone. And then before you know it, you're back in work again. Yeah. You've got to break the cycle. That's the only way to do it. So, and luckily I've managed to do that, realise what's important in life, realised I'm running myself into the ground and it's not productive for anybody.
I think
it is.
Where's it going?
I think what I'm doing is saving the world and whatever else. It's really not. I'm just running myself into the ground. There's no one there cheering me along the way. Do you know what I mean? I'm just cheering myself to make sure I get through the shift. But if I have a break, or if I go and do this, or I can be far more productive to the business on a whole.
It can sometimes be glorified as well, can't it? Like, it can almost be a badge of honor, like how hard you work and what you dedicate and what you sacrifice for this. And ultimately you become a one-dimensional person.
Yeah, 100%.
And you realize, like, where's my life actually headed?
100%.
Like, I'm living my life in the present for something fictitious in the future that's never going to get here. It's like a mirage that just keeps moving.
Yeah.
And then you're just in this cycle, and it's just a treadmill, and it's a trap.
100% that. So I've been there, and I know other chefs that have been there, and you're working so hard, and never took a day off sick ever. You know what I mean? That was a bad thing. If you ever took a day off sick, you're the worst person in the world. Do you know what I mean? So you just work through everything. You'd work through flu, cold, whatever. Do you know what I mean? You just work through it. That was the mentality. Still is the mentality now. And what I'd suggest is, I'm not saying don't work hard.
Yeah, work hard.
I'm just saying, just be more productive with your working hard. So make sure you've got time. Get up that little bit earlier. Go and have a little gym session or something that makes you work 10 times harder when you get in, because you've got this energy.
Yeah,
I feel it. I feel this big buzz of energy when I get in the kitchen after I've been working out.
It's like the power plant, right? Yeah. The power plant doesn't have energy; it generates energy.
Yeah, and
so it requires energy to generate energy. Yeah, it requires energy to have the energy to do stuff. So you get the energy to do the thing by doing the thing. No. Like, you don't have the energy to work out. Like, you go and train and you generate the energy from working out.
Yeah, 100%. And then you can pass that on to everyone else around you, which I just think
becomes a gift. Yeah, you really become the power plant in your own life, and then you give that energy out to other people. Yeah, you're generating this surplus.
I just think that's massive. So, and it's so important that there's people in that workspace that are just firing energy out. Like I said, sometimes I'll come into work and I'm looking for that energy. Who's firing it out? Is anyone firing it out? Because I need it.
Yeah. Feel me?
And sometimes it's not there. So I just have to make it myself, or quick phone call to someone, or just a text message from someone, or whatever it is that just gives me that little spark, and then I go again.
That's why I'm obsessed with breathwork. I'm also obsessed with this term. Like, my mission in 2023 is to make a state a trait.
Yeah.
So, like, make my state of high energy a trait.
Yeah.
Not something that I have to generate, but something that it's baseline.
Yeah.
Even with breathwork, if you just go like, you'll feel that energy.
I'd love to do that today, but I can't.
Your nose is plugged, yeah.
I'm all plugged up, but I have noticed.
3 really deep breaths like that, just boom.
I've seen, what did I listen to? Just a quick 5 minutes, and someone was talking about box breathing, and when things are getting stressful, and it was just like, in for the nose, 5 seconds, hold it 5 seconds, out for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, then again. I just find massive benefit to that. Calm down, body feels energized. It's oxygen. It's good oxygen into the body.
That's how we release
energy.
energy.
Dioxide out. It's really simple stuff.
Krebs cycle. I learned it in,
and even when I'm working out now, I'm focusing my breathing, and you're getting better results out, because I mean, again, you learned all this in school. You thought it was nonsense, or you're never going to use it again, but actually.
Well, also as well, when you, like, obviously doing jiu-jitsu, you realize, like, how important your breath is, and how much your breath is linked to panicking or a state of relaxation. Or, when you first start jiu-jitsu, you've got someone crushing your chest, you can barely breathe, they're on your belly, you can't move, you're physically trapped, you feel helpless, and you begin to panic. You're like, and people will tap just through panic alone.
Yeah, rather than actually being in a situation that they're gonna.
And then as you become more experienced as a practitioner, you're just like, you're relaxed, your breath's flowing, you're chilling.
I've got oxygen. Like, I'm okay.
Like, you're just sipping in, like.
Because you see a lot. Yeah, I mean, I like to watch it. I did MMA briefly for a couple of years. Nothing crazy, but and obviously the first the first thing that they wanted to do was stifle your breathing, hand over the face, do you know what I mean? Yeah, elbow, just smother you completely.
Forearm
the
in the
first thing
throat,
was straight away into smothering, blocking that off, and you're right, yeah. So, and I think that's quite a good symbol for everyday life, really, isn't it? It's just, everything's going to try and stifle you, everything's trying to come at you. That is life, and this is where it is what it is. Okay, that's the situation I'm in. How do I deal with it? Breath work, relaxation, just getting in the right mindset. Okay, I've got this. You know what I mean? I can handle this.
The breath is directly linked to our nervous system.
Yeah.
So it's quite funny. I've come very full circle in my endeavors because about 10 years ago, I met a guy called Dilip who owns Mattis in town on Bold Street.
Yeah.
And he introduced me into the art of living and breath work.
Nice.
And
that's is cool, by the way.
Yeah, very cool place. Yeah. And it was a game changer for me. And then I've always had breath work as a thread through my life. And then it actually became the modality that I lent into to really go through the deep healing journey that I've been through.
Cool.
And the breath is so linked to our nervous system. The quality of breath is directly correlated to your emotional state. So like a physiological state of anxiety is more than 8 breaths a minute.
Yeah.
So if you have more than 8 breaths a minute, you're in a state of anxiety. Your nervous system, your physiology.
Yeah.
Equally, a physiological state of relaxation is like 4 to 8 breaths a minute. So if you just bring yourself into a place and you go like 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, instantly that's 4 breaths a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
And now you're bringing yourself into a state of relaxation in a matter of minutes. You're able to alter your state because the breath's the thing that's linked to our nervous system that we have control of. We don't have control of our heart rate. We don't have control of our emotions.
Yeah.
We have control of our breath, which then stimulates what we think about and how we think. And
that's crazy, isn't it? We should learn that at school.
Yeah, it should be taught in school. Meditation should be taught in school.
100%, because that's what's going to set you up for the rest of life. Life's crazy.
Well, why is meditation so taboo?
Yeah.
Like, why is it
so much going on? And to have them skills would be massively beneficial.
I don't understand why people have so much resistance to meditation. Yeah, I really don't.
It's the whole hippie thing, and it's the whole it's just bullshit. Again, you get to a stage in the life where I'm just like, I don't care what you think. Do you know what I mean? This is good for me.
Just leaning into the edges.
This is good for everyone else. Yeah. I think once you get to that stage as well, where you're just like, I really don't care what anyone else thinks about me anymore. I'm not in a terrible way, as in I'm not gonna shave. I'm not gonna. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna wear scruffy clothes. I'm gonna smell horrible. Not that stage. It's more about your opinion of me is not what defines me. Do you know what I mean? I've found my way. I'm really comfortable with who I am. I think that's a massively empowering moment.
Wayne Dyer said to be independent of the good opinion of others.
Yeah.
There was actually a through quote originally. And I think it's so powerful because if you're independent of the good opinion of people, then naturally you're independent of the bad opinion. Yeah. The problem is that people go and overly index on positive feedback. And then they are crippled by the negative feedback. Because they require the positive, so then obviously the negative impacts them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're neutrally aligned with you gracefully receive the positive, and you allow the negative to wash over, and you know that you're living in alignment. I think that's the number one thing.
Yeah,
when you're living out of alignment with your values, and then somebody criticizes or judges you or gives you praise, you don't need the praise because I'm fucking aligned. I know I'm good. Like, thank you so much. I'm aligned. You don't feed off it.
Yeah.
And the negative stuff, 11:10. The negative stuff, it washes over you because like I'm living in alignment with who I am.
Yeah.
I've let go of the masks and the identities and the character structures and the shit that really is out there for other people. Yeah. And I'm just in alignment.
And I think that's huge. And again, this comes back to, in a chefing world, you'll see that more prominently maybe than others because everyone's aspiring for, I need to be the best, I need to win these awards, I need to go for Michelin, I need to go for AA Rosette, I need to go for this, I need to be in the good food guide, I need to do that because that's positive.
Yeah.
And I need positive people. I need positive reviews. My TripAdvisor needs to be positive. And if you, like I said, if you feed too much into that, when the negative one comes in, when that gets sent back, you see people. And it
cripples them.
It cripples them, and you have to get them out of it. And I'm like, no, it's fine. We move on. Let's just cook it again and we go again. Do you know what I mean? Forget it.
Done.
And I literally had to bring that up. I bring it up when I can, but I found a really cool like meme, and it had exactly that. I can't remember the exact words, sorry, but it was like, yeah, we don't over celebrate our wins and we don't mourn our losses. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've just got to sit in the middle, take it constructively, like you said. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know what we're doing is really good. And then when something comes in negative, let's be honest, food. So everyone thinks differently about food.
Contextually,
someone's salty could be someone's perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. I always said that, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. But that's, you have to, do you know what I mean? Otherwise it does cripple you. Like TripAdvisor's come in and everyone feels down because they're so deflated because we've won all these awards and we won best restaurant in England and we've done this, we've done that, and then when that negative comes in and we're not used to it, and it can feel awful.
You've optimized for positivity. You've optimized for inflated optimism, and I think sometimes it's just this place of neutrality, like positive neutrality. I think,
and that's where that's
so important. To get positive neutrality.
As long as we're happy with everything we're doing ourselves. So now, I mean, we've learned to deal with it. I tend not to read TripAdvisors. Negative ones will come in, and we'll deal with them. The way we deal with them is just like, okay, let's have a look at it constructively. Do we think there was an issue there? Was there a problem there? Could we have done anything different? Could we have fixed it? Or is it just personal opinion? Because if that's the case, there's nothing we can do about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we know some people are going to come in and just try and attack us because, they're either jealous of what we're doing or jealous of who we are.
Who's planned it, you know?
There's so many out there, and people, it's so easy for them to do that. It's just go on anonymously, leave a horrible review, say something nasty. And you know what? You get out of life what you put in. So if you're out there in the universe, and this is something that I've learned over the last few years, out there doing that, being negative, that's the state you're going to live in. And it won't make you feel any better. Maybe it does. I don't know.
You magnetize what you put out like a mirror.
100%. So I just think, get out there. And one thing I'd say within this industry, it can be very bitchy, and certainly I've noticed in this city, I love this city, by the way, but there is a undercurrent of people don't like you doing well sometimes, and especially if you're in the same field.
I think that's the whole, working class mentality.
And it's like, no, guys, just...
Like if you're successful, you're Tory. Do you know what I mean? Like that's it.
It's like throw positivity out there. They're doing well, so I try and always, if someone's achieved something, like another chef does something great, phenomenal, well done. Like, do you know what I mean? Well done, guys. Like,
it only raises the standard. Like a rising tide lifts all boats. Like fucking hell. Do you know what I mean?
100%. We can only all get better together collectively as an
You're not
industry.
only going to eat in one restaurant ever. Do you know, if there's more good restaurants, there's more possibility that people are going to eat in.
Come in. That's it. More people are going to come to the city.
Hydrates the economy.
So let's all go and get at it and just be positive with each other. I like to try and go and eat everywhere where I can. Do you know what I mean? And I want others to come and eat in our place, and it's just like you rarely see them, and I'm like, what have we done wrong? Is there anything we're doing wrong? I don't know, but anyway.
Well, I used to have that because I owned a gym, and that was almost like an unwritten rule of competition.
You don't go to anyone else's gym.
You don't go to another gym.
It's just like
you don't praise another gym. You don't acknowledge them. You don't speak to them.
Yeah. It's that competitive thing. There's enough out there for everyone. It's just like, let's all raise together. I like that term about the raising tide. You know what I mean? I like that. I'll keep that one in.
But I think, the mentality is that a scarcity mindset thinks there's not enough success for everyone.
Yeah.
The scarcity mindset thinks like, this is all the amount of success that there ever is, right? This glass of water, it can only be divided between this.
Yeah.
And
So
if you take that, then you're taking half of mine.
Yeah.
Whereas the abundant thinking is like, there's more glasses of water. There's infinite glasses of water.
As many as we want to make or produce.
Exactly. So scarcity mindset tells you that someone else's success is your failure, or someone else's success is taking your opportunity.
Yeah.
And the reality is the opportunity is there for the taking for everyone.
There's still plenty. There's still loads. So certainly last few years I've found that collaborating with people is phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? That's the best way. I think we all get together and we share skills and we join together to create something that's even better. So hopefully that's where the next projects lie for me, for Luban. For we've got some really cool plans, and personally there's things I want to achieve as well, and that can only happen with collaborating with people. It's not with saying, okay, well, like you said, that's my glass of water. It's like, guys, let's go and do this together. This will be phenomenal. This will be great. We'll both benefit from this.
It's like, I seen this this little video the other day. It was a grape
Yeah.
and a watermelon. And he was like, I've just took on a business partner, give him half of what I have. So he's like, here's the watermelon, give him half.
Yeah.
I've still got all this watermelon. But he's like, here's what I had. I had a grape.
Yeah.
He was like, the opportunity of two people coming together can build something far greater
Massive.
than owning the whole grape.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Would you rather have, a small, blueberry muffin or a slice of a huge cake? Do you know what I mean?
No, that's it. That's 100% it. Yeah. So, collaboration's key, 100%. And and I think that just goes back to what we talked about. It's mindset again. It's that open mindset. It's not closed. It's not, I have to do this, or no, someone else doing well is going to take my shine off me, or whatever it is. So again, one of them contributing factors which leads some chefs a certain direction and leaves them bitter and twisted and angry.
1,000%, yeah.
Yeah, so I've experienced that, and it's a bit sad now.
It is sad. It's sad because what they don't realize is that actually that like hatred, the hatred doesn't penetrate your field of like doing what you're doing. It actually is just, it's in it. It's in it. It's shadow. It's shadow work, basically.
So it's not going to, your hatred for me and what I'm doing isn't going to unrail me or deflect, or, you know what I mean? It's not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm still going to carry on doing
Nelson
what I'm doing.
Mandela said resentment or hate is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah, I love that. I think I saw that recently. And I thought that's perfect. We've got plenty of examples of that. And it's just like, you won't stop what I'm doing.
If you're in the energetic frequency of success, you're going to attract more success.
Yeah.
If you're in the energetic frequency of hate and fear, you're going to attract more of that into your life.
Yeah.
You can only get what you're in alignment with.
Yeah, 100%.
And you've just got to fucking align with what you want in your life. And that means going out and praising people, going out and showing fucking love to people for the good work that they're doing.
Because you'll get it back.
Yeah, in spades.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So
like, do you want to be a poisonous mold that just takes over everything, or would you rather be the blossoming flower that just going to understand,
moves on and goes for it? Yeah. So that's 100% it, and it all comes back to mindset.
And seasonal, understanding seasons. Like, you might be in a deep dark winter right now, but spring's around the corner.
Yeah,
it might be someone else's spring. Let them celebrate their spring and their harvest from the stuff that they've done.
Yeah, because they've got a winter coming. Do you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're bringing them down. Bringing them down at the wrong moment. No, we need to be positive. We need to be supporting people around us. We need to be growing networks of like-minded people that we can feed off energy. And we can hand out energy when other people need it. And that's something that, I'm massively looking forward to. Growing communities, joining communities where people are in this mindset. I'm really interested in the breathing, so I'll be tapping you off for a breathing session pretty soon. I kind of understand the absolute fundamentals, the absolute basics, but would really like to get to know a bit more about that.
Yeah, it's like this. I think there's three benefits of it for me. I think, as I just demonstrated, you can do 2 minutes of breath and it will change your state like this.
Yeah.
Number two, it can help you move through a lot of things in a moment.
Yeah.
But equally, there's a real deep therapeutic benefit to it.
Yeah.
But it really just brings you back to a complete place of presence, relaxation, where you're able to actually move through and deal with stuff that has been, maybe traumas or stress, or as a business owner, you become overwhelmed. Like it really is a therapeutic modality. Like one of my clients yesterday, I took him back to like childhood, 9-year-old boy.
Okay.
Right. And he burst into tears and he was like, that's the first time that I've cried.
Yeah.
In as long as I can remember, probably since I was that 9-year-old boy.
Yeah. And it was all bottled up. It was all in there, wasn't it? So, yeah.
And he's in his late 30s now. Like, it's a long time to live closed.
Holding on to that, holding on to those emotions when, if you've got someone like yourself, I highly recommend that actually. I picked up a coach start of last year, and just having that person to speak to was life-changing because, like I said, I'm in this position where I've got 32, 34 people beneath me. And I only mean beneath me respectfully in terms of
you're responsible
the structure and the responsibilities. I can't go to them and say I'm having a real low energy day and I feel shit and I feel pretty crap about myself and all this, and I've got all this stress on me and blah blah blah, because all I'm doing there is
projecting.
I'm projecting it. I'm gonna now I'm going to damage their day. I'm going to damage their mindset.
It's like a hot potato. It's like, catch.
Yeah. Take some of this off me, which is great. I've got it off my shoulder now, but now my team is struggling. So that's something I have to go and deal with. So actually having someone I can phone up and speak to, and that's where it's important, a family, friends, a little support group.
I call it protected vulnerability.
Yeah.
So you need a space where you can be vulnerable,
but
it needs to be protected. It needs to be a container. It needs to be sacred. It needs to be special.
Oh, 100%.
And I think the risk that we have in today's world is like, be open, be vulnerable, share. And what we've got to do is be mindful of like who is actually worthy of your share.
Yeah.
Number one, who is going to be able to hold that. Number two.
Yeah.
And number three, who's actually genuinely going to listen with complete presence and be able to support. Sometimes you don't need advice. Sometimes you don't need...
You just need an ear sometimes.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen and allow you to process and move through that.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's really important. And once you've realised who those people are, because like I said, unfortunately, we're in a world where some people will take that and use that against you later on.
Weaponize it.
And you're like, wow, thanks for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's you've taken something quite personal and then used it against me. So,
or like
sometimes they don't even know they're doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Or they just tell.
Yeah, that's it. It's a bit of gossip
loose
or a bit of
lips,
this. So really tough. But I think, all those things we talked about there, all just comes back to that. Yeah, getting into the right mindset.
In my new coaching program that I joined, there's a legal agreement and an energetic agreement.
Okay.
And the energetic agreement's really interesting. It's like, honor yourself, honor others, honor the container, and create the power.
Okay.
And so by honoring yourself, you're honoring your values, your boundaries, your edge. Honoring others, you're honoring their secrecy, their privacy, their edge, their boundaries. Honoring the container, you're keeping safety within the group. And then creating the power. It's like, if you want to generate something in your life, it's upon you.
Yeah.
Like the tools are there, but you've got to actually do the work. Like the program's not going to do it for you.
No, exactly. Yeah, you've got to put the work in, haven't you? And then, and see the outcome. Yeah, good. That sounds all interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like good stuff. It's all, like I said, all stuff that I'd like to bring into the hospitality industry. I think it would benefit so many people there.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it can only, like you say, collaboration of minds is so important. And I think for me, really, I want to cultivate good people in my life. I just had this conversation with my friend before I came here, and understanding that relationships in your life have different roles and purposes.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be a friend that you take your deepest, darkest secrets to.
Yeah.
You might have a mate that's just an absolute ball, and like, if you're feeling low, you just go and be
out,
with them.
Night out.
Yeah, have a blast.
Sorted.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their role. That's their responsibility.
Or you've got your friends that you go to the gym with. Like, I've got my jiu-jitsu mates. My jiu-jitsu mates aren't my confidants, like the place where I take my darkest stuff.
Yeah.
But they provide such value in my life in many different ways.
Yeah. No, and I think that's massive, isn't it? So, and I think hospitality needs to understand that as well. The people around them are their work colleagues, but it is also like a family. And like you said, these are people that spend so long together. It's really good to you find a buddy, find a work buddy, and that's someone that you can speak to. I just think it's massively important. So, I sometimes find I have to be a dad. Yeah. I've got to be a friend. Yeah. I've got to be the boss. I've got to be a counsellor, a mentor, an instructor, and a work colleague all together at once. And I've got 34 people to do that too. So
I think it's really important to look at your leadership roles in life, and look at where you're responsible. Like, I'm a father, I'm a son. Yeah. I'm a co-parent. I'm a boss. I'm a coach, a mentor, I'm a friend.
There's a lot
going on. And look at all of these categories of places and try, like, what I used to do was bring my coach or leadership home.
Into the family.
Yeah, straight into the family. And I'd be like, do this. Yeah, it's just not going to work.
Does it?
No, exactly. Yeah. So you've got to understand your leadership roles and what energy you're bringing in. Because if you've had a full-on day and you're fired up and you're going home and you're still in that mode, you're going to bring the wrong energy to the wrong environment.
100%. Yeah, I think that's right. Definitely right. And it's just working them all out, isn't it? Working them all out and trying to fit the mold, fit the role.
Think about the rooms in your house as well. Even the rooms in your house have different energy.
Yeah.
Like the kitchen, there's different energy to the living room, right? The living room has different energy to the bedroom. And I think even just training yourself to go through a door frame and like say that, you know, this door is this energy, this door is this energy, this door is this energy. And categorizing things like that, I think, is really important.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Interesting, because that would work again in work, wouldn't it? As soon as you walk through this door, you're this person.
Yeah, this energy is required.
Yeah, cool, really cool. I'm watching my numbers are about to appear again. There we go.
There it is.
That's 1 and 27, so there we go. Oh, good. That means we've done over an hour, haven't we?
Yeah, on.
Chatting away.
So what's going on for you? Because as we're coming to an end, what do you want people to know about?
There's a lot happening. Obviously, we opened 2 sites just before Christmas, 2 kitchens, should we call them? So I've been running 3 operations through November and December. That was challenging.
Yay.
There's another one in the pipeline as well, so that'll be 4 probably some point in 2023. There'll be a 4th site there.
Anything over the dark side?
Not yet. No. I don't want to venture just yet. But I eventually would love to get over the Wirral. Is that what you meant? I hope it was,
yeah.
For the super dark side of Manchester.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're going to get, and hopefully just grow. We're just growing. We're at a stage where we've come through a really tough period of time through COVID. We survived all that, and now we're moving forwards, which is great to see. Great to see growth. And then personally, as I said, I'd like to, I want to look at mentoring people in the industry. Maybe that becomes a coaching role eventually down the line when my legs give in and I haven't got the energy to give any more in the kitchens. That's certainly something I'd like to get involved with, really, and bring all this positive mindset into hospitality. There's some great guys out there doing it at the moment, and I'd like to be able to support that.
That's what I did in the gym industry.
Yeah,
I realized that my impact was bigger by supporting other gyms than it would be in my own.
Yeah.
And you know, I've worked with thousands of personal trainers at this point.
Yeah.
You think about all the clients that you've had, and
that's something that I'd like to be able to do. So I can't fix the industry. I can't change it overnight, but I just want to do my part. Really, it's an industry that's looked after me pretty well. I've had a great career. I've achieved a lot. I've ticked a lot of boxes. Like I said, the television, my cookbook that came out last year. Won some amazing awards, ran some fantastic restaurants, and now I think there could be a different path.
You're giving back,
I want to give back. I want to give back, and I want to encourage
growth and contribution are two of the highest human needs that many people don't ever get to.
No, exactly. You know? And I think now after 25 years. And these bags and these wrinkles, I've got something to give back. I've got a wealth of knowledge that I want to put back in, and I'd love to see even like a retreat where we go and just break people out of this cycle of negativity and start them afresh again. Just a little pop
culture,
4 nights away. This is what we're going to do. Change the culture, change the mindset, put them back into the industry again as new people.
One of the things that this might be helpful for you, one of the things I do with coaching clients is to get them think of the impossible mission.
Yeah.
So what's the impossible mission? And that impossible mission for you might be like, I want to impact every kitchen on the planet so that there's peace and tranquility, right? It's an impossible mission. You're never going to be able to achieve it, but it's like, that's how you show up every day.
Yeah.
That's your mission. Boom.
Is to try and to do your very best, strive towards that. So that's that's the plan. So eventually you may see like little retreats or little community groups or hubs where people can actually come. Maybe it's just walking up a mountain once every couple of months. Maybe it's going and doing a breath work once a month. Maybe it's whatever it is. It just needs a little spark, I think, and set off a huge fire and a positive fire. And just get people thinking differently. So watch this space. Certainly plenty to come.
Chef Dave might be.
I'm not finished yet.
Coach
put it
Dave.
that way. I'm not finished yet. There's plenty more to achieve in this career. So excited for it.
Love it. Well, dude, thank you so much.
That's all right. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'll be back at Luban soon.
Yeah, 100%.
Actually,
more seafood. You booked in?
I'm booked in.
Yeah, he's booked in.
Got a couple of clients.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Sounds good. Another chef's table experience.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. Belter.
Excited.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's it. Thanks.